At the edge of night, when shadows stretch long and breath stills in the chest, a figure stirs in the darkness, silent, patient, watching. The owl, watcher of twilight, whisperer between the worlds. Its wings do not rustle, its voice is not hurried, its eyes are lanterns, not of fire, but of knowing. Tonight we follow those eyes into stories long whispered by wind through trees, by ash around fire pits, by voices that remember. This is Echoes of Myths, and tonight we follow the owl into the heart of legend and the hush of the unknown. They have watched us since the first campfires, since the first questions. Their stare is not cruel, but it is not kind. It simply is. Owls see through the dark. They live where others fear to tread. They fly without sound, not just through air, but through stories. And every culture, every land kissed by moonlight has whispered their names. Giver of wisdom, bearer of death, messenger of spirits, witch's companion, silent judge. To some, a guide, to others, a curse, but never just a bird. In Ireland, when the barn owl cried, the old women would cross themselves slowly, silently. They called it the Screa Chog Reiliger, the screecher of the graveyard, the echo of the banshee, a scream before the silence. They said, if it perched on your roof, someone beneath it would not wake. If it gazed through your window, a shadow would soon follow. In Africa, its cry pierced the night like prophecy. To the Kikuyu, to the Swahili, to the Zulu, the owl was death's own messenger. Its voice came not from a throat, but from beyond the veil. A whisper of illness, of endings, of unseen hands moving through the reeds. Even the mighty Romans trembled. When Caesar fell, they say an owl shrieked at midday. Too loud, too bright, a sunlit warning, too late to stop the knife. And so we feared them, not because they killed, but because they knew. But not all fear was dread. In Greece, Athena chose the owl, not the proud hawk, not the bright dove, but the one who sees through darkness. The owl perched beside her, quietly watching the folly of men. Its wisdom was not in books, it was in stillness, in the ability to wait, to know before knowing. In India, they say the owl flies at the feet of Lakshmi, goddess of light, of fortune, of graceful abundance, her companion through the night, a quiet symbol of clarity, of wealth, tempered by wisdom. But wisdom is never gentle. The owl sees through the veil. It unmasks the beautiful lie. It looks past what we show and sees what we are. And maybe that's why it unsettles us. Not because it deceives, but because it never does. In the witching hour, the owl does not sleep. In the old villages of Europe, they nailed them to barn doors. Not in cruelty, but in desperate magic. A warning to witches. Your eyes are not welcome here, for owls were not merely birds. They were spies, familiars, witches in feathered cloaks. In Rome, they whispered of the Strix, a creature with feathers of fangs, a woman by day, a screech owl by night. She drank the blood of infants in silence, her wings dark as sin, her cry a curse. And far across the seas, in the heart of Africa, the owl spoke with the voice of sorcerers. If it landed on your roof, you sealed your doors. You whispered prayers because someone, somewhere, was calling on powers better left alone. In India, there are those who seek the owl in secret, its feathers taken, its bones burned, its body offered in rituals hidden beneath the glow of festival lights. A sacred bird, returned sacrifice, because the owl does not obey, it does not yield, and we are always afraid of what we cannot control. But the owl is not always a threat. Sometimes it is a bridge. Among the Hopi, the owl guards the underworld, tending the fire beneath creation. Among the Cree, it calls out names, and if you answer and no voice returns, you've been chosen. The Kwakiutl believe owls carry souls, ancestors who perch nearby, watching, waiting, protecting, and some say after we die we become owls for a while, feathered shapes fluttering through trees before becoming wind. To the Celts, the owl knew the other world's paths, not with maps, but with memory. Not all who walk through death's door do so alone. Some are led by silent wings. In Wales, they tell of Bloduved, a woman made from blossoms, petals spun from spells. But when she betrayed love, the flowers withered, and the gods changed her. Feathers for skin, silence for beauty, a form that would never again see the sun. She became the owl, the outcast, the watcher, punished and eternal. The Greeks knew this too. Ascalaphus, keeper of secrets, cursed for speaking too soon, changed into an owl, doomed to haunt the night with truth no one wanted to hear. Nectimene, a girl wrapped in silence, fleeing shame too heavy to bear. The gods gave her wings and eyes that would never close again. Transformation rarely asks permission, but it always leaves something behind. A trace, a lesson, a name lost in the dark, and across tribes, across nations, across time, the owl becomes the shape we take when we step beyond ourselves and become something other, something watching, something changed. When we gaze into the night, something gazes back. The owl does not sing, it does not dance, it does not plead for fear or hunger for praise. It waits, not cruel but not kind. It is death, without violence, wisdom without words, magic without illusion. And in its eyes we see something quiet, something familiar, not who we pretend to be, but who we are, and who we may yet become. So if you hear it tonight, that slow, hollow call through the dark, do not turn away, do not run. Pause, not in fear, but in reverence, because something older than language has passed your window, and in that fleeting silence, you were seen.